The Solar Lab YouTube channel just released a video saying that one of their most highly recommended power station combos has a serious issue when it comes to charging. I've got two super easy solutions for anyone that may have bought that kit or is looking to buy that kit. Basically, the Solar Lab has been singing the praises of the Pecron E3600 LFP paired together with another unit and the dual voltage hub in order to get full home backup 240 volt split phase power for a really good price. And that is very true. I'm going to leave a link down below in the description to Solar Lab's video so you can hear more about why they've recommended it and the budget offering that it brings. The issue they're running into is that if you try to AC charge either of those units when they're running together with the dual voltage hub, you can't AC charge it. And that's because these Pecron units use the inverter running in reverse to charge the batteries, so it cannot output power at the same time that it is charging. However, the DC inputs work just fine, and Solar Lab acknowledges that in their video. So the first solution, if you already own these power stations, is very simple. Notice that you have two DC inputs. They use an XT60 connector, and notice that they accept 32 volts to 50 volts up to 1200 watts times 2. So you can dump up to 2400 watts into each of these units. So how does that help us? I'm going to show you the proof of concept here, and then I've actually made a video testing this proof of concept, and I'm going to put that at the end of this video so you guys can watch it in action. So this solution is extremely simple. Go buy a 51.2 volt lithium iron phosphate battery. I've tested this Temgo battery and I highly recommend it. It works very, very well and is selling for a really, really good price. The other thing that makes it super nice is it comes with a smart display as well as app control. And the most important right here, an AC to DC high power charger. This just plugs into a 120 volt outlet, generator, whatever, and dumps a whole bunch of power into the battery. So then you get a simple cable that's available on Amazon that goes from the battery to the input on one of the power stations. I personally don't own the Pecron E3600 LFP, so I can't test whether or not you can plug in on the same battery to the same second port on the same first unit. That may not happen. Some power stations allow you to do that, others don't. But in the worst case scenario, you could easily take this and plug it into the second one. So that way you've got it coming to the first port on the first unit and the first port on the second unit. The second unit will have no clue that the first unit is plugged into this battery. And then get a second battery and plug it into port 2 and port 2. That's going to be dirt cheap. That's going to give you 2 times the charging power as well. That's going to give you 10 kilowatt hours of additional golf cart battery storage. And then you can get a high power MPPT solar charge controller that connects to the batteries if you want additional solar input. You'll be able to put way more solar on individual MPPT charge controllers connected to these batteries than you ever would with the Pecron units. And then obviously these connect to the solar. But this charger connects to your generator or your wall outlet or whatever, and you'll very easily be able to charge your Pecrons even while they're running in 240 volt split phase. And think about it, if you max out those 4 solar inputs on the Pecrons, that's going to give you an input of 4,800 watts. So like I said, this kind of gives you an overview. Right after solution number 2, I'm going to roll the video of me actually putting this into practice with my own power stations so you can see it in action. The second option is probably better suited for someone who has not invested in the Pecron units yet, but are looking hard at doing so. And that would be to invest instead in the Blue Eddy Apex 300. I'm currently testing it as we speak, so my dedicated review video of that will be coming out soon. But I can confirm that it will plug into a standard 120 volt AC charging source and continue to output 240 volt split phase without any issues whatsoever. So this issue that Solar Lab has run into with the Pecron units is 100% a non-issue with the Blue Eddy unit. Now, to get the same output power, you would need to get 2 of the Blue Eddy units. But price-wise, they actually end up being very similar at the time of making this video, at least. So I'll leave a link to the Blue Yeti Apex 300 in the description so you can check it out further, but that could be a really good solution for anyone that has not already invested in this Pecron setup. All right, let me roll this video here of me putting into practice using the golf cart battery as a medium between my power station and alternative AC power charging sources. Take a look back here. I've got the DC power coming from the big battery here. And then what's awesome is included with this battery and its screen is this super nice charger. It's got weather resistance ratings to it because it's meant to be outside charging golf carts. It's a 56 volt, 18 amp charger. Again, that comes with this battery. So now watch this. I've got my make-believe gas generator here. We're going to plug this charger into it. So that's plugged in at the same time and charging at the same time that this is charging off the DC. So if we come over here and take a look, you can see that we are now discharging from the generator just under 1,000 watts. So the generator is happily purring along. It's small, it's fuel efficient. We're charging up over here on our power station just fine. We're up to 50% already. What this allows you to do is expand the capabilities of your power station in a vast and dramatic way for not very much money at all. So allow me to demonstrate. I've got multiple things hooked up, but notice I've got a fuse right here. That is fusing this cable, and this particular cable has an XT60i connector on it. You can get different ones. Definitely get the ones with like 10 gauge cable. That's what I've got here. But if you look back here, the Anker F2000 is rated for up to 60 volts and 20 amps. So we're going to simply take this cable and plug it in like that. And what's going to happen is the power station is going to recognize that as a DC power source and start charging. And there we go, look at that, over 1,000 watts of input. And the secret sauce to allowing that to happen is because of the higher voltage of this battery. This is a 48 volt battery. It's a 51.2 volt nominal voltage. The other super sweet thing about this is it's got this little screen right here. So you can monitor your state of charge as well as the power that's going out. So we can see that we've got 19 amps of current leaving the battery is all. So what if you want to plug solar into this in conjunction with this battery being plugged in? You only have one port available for this. Well, that's where this device comes in. So this particular unit right here is a 20 amp MPPT solar charge controller. So remember how this power station has a 20 amp limit on its charge controller? Well, this is a 20 amp solar charge controller. So you can just simply add this to the battery here and then connect this to solar panels, and it's going to dump in the same amount of power to the battery from solar as you would get charging directly into this unit here. But wait, it gets better. This particular charge controller can accept up to 150 volts of solar input instead of being capped at 60 like the Anker F2000 is. So you can hook more solar panels up in series, reducing the amount of wiring you need using this as opposed to feeding directly into the Anker. But it gets even better. You're maxed out at 1,000 watts input on this unit. You could get like a 40 amp MPPT charge controller or get two 20 amp units or even three. And you could easily pump in, say, 3,000 watts of electricity into this battery as opposed to being capped to 1,000 watts. So this could act as a reservoir. You could pump in 3,000 watts while you've got the sun shining. Then this will go ahead and consume the 1,000 watts of that. The other 2,000 go into this battery for charging and storage. And then this power station can draw power off the battery during the night, etc. So you're able to get a lot more solar input into this unit, connecting this battery in between. Hopefully that makes sense. And let me tell you the best part. 51.2 volts times 100 amp hours, that's over 5 kilowatt hours of battery storage. That is more storage than all the storage in this power station, plus an extra battery combined. This is 4 kilowatt hours of storage. So this actually packs 1 kilowatt hour more power storage-wise than both of these units combined. So you're actually more than doubling capacity if you have the extra battery and this power station. So you're starting to see how this kit can work together with things like my fake gas generator here, more solar input, and make your power station be able to be more functional. I think this is awesome. So really, really nice setup. Doesn't involve modifications or anything. We're just augmenting through that DC port from this battery, and then we're hooking up our solar to this battery, we're hooking up our gas generators to this battery, and this kit is all of a sudden turning this power station that was very capable into a crazy capable unit. Anyway, hopefully you guys can tell I'm way excited and I've been having a ton of fun playing around with these configurations. Let me know what other thoughts or configurations you have. That you guys always have more great ideas. So sound off in the comments, tell me your thoughts. Maybe we can play with this more and reconfigure things. If you enjoy these kinds of videos of me just playing around and experimenting, be sure and let it show, and give me a like and a subscribe, a comment and a share. 4 100% free things for you to do, but tremendously helps with the YouTube algorithm and helps me continue to bring this free content without any additional financial assistance. It does take considerable time and effort to do this for you. So please do those 4 things for me. I would really appreciate it. We'll catch y'all next time.